What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk about Faraday Future, tickers FFIE. I'm going to give you a good breakdown of some of the data points, what recently came out, which is very bullish for the whole EV sector, and just where I see things going, at least in the short term. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So currently it is down 1.05%. A lot of volume for the first 1 hour of the trading day. So 7 million shares being traded. 61 is the average. And pre-market was very green. I think it was up about 3 to 4%. And that was largely because of this news right here. So Bank of America is projecting that oil is going to be hitting around $90 a barrel, which generally, as what the title even says, is kind of bad for the broader market. Bad for stocks, meaning everything goes up, blah, blah, blah. But very good for the whole EV sector. Similar to what happened last time when oil went on a very good rally, this is where EVs were kind of at its peak. So I think there's a very good correlation between the two. So of course, I think that might be a good sign, bigger picture for Faraday, especially considering as they move towards their phase 2. And even yesterday, I did buy in myself. So I did buy in at 26.7 cents. So I did catch very close to the bottom. And I felt that was a little bit more of an overreaction as far as the sell-off. So I do feel that especially from here on out, it will start to move in the right direction as they move towards phase 2. But at the time of doing this video, there isn't any press releases, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. So it is just merely following the broader market and just the sentiment. And as well, it looks like the latest round of 13Fs, so institutions and ETFs disclosing their positions to the SEC, it looks like a lot of the ETFs recently did increase within Q2, a pretty substantial amount. So 118%, 98, 113, 135, and 132% up. So that is pretty optimistic. As well, it looks like Capital Advisors did get out 100%, so that's not really that big of a deal. But when it comes down to it, a lot of the big players, so BlackRock, Vanguard, are all going to be most likely the first week of August, and they definitely are going to be one to watch for, because this is the layout right here of all the companies that do hold Faraday Future. And I do feel that the Q3 13Fs, once they are submitted, most likely in I guess October-ish or whenever that is, I do feel that this is going to look completely different, because once they do go into phase 2, there is going to be a lot of institutions that are very doubtful about that. But if they do confirm and actually start to produce, deliver, and all the fun jazz that an automotive company does do, then this is where a lot of institutions will really back up the bus. My own opinion, financial advisor, you guys always do your own due diligence. As far as options activity, very, very minimal today, and unfortunately very bearish. Oddly, but still, first thing in the morning, it looks like, or at least within the first hour of the trading day, 16,000 in puts being purchased versus $1,270 in calls being purchased. So based on this, people are anticipating for it to trend down. Looking right here, as far as big money getting in, it doesn't look like any of them have been buying since, looks like the 21st, over $100,000, and this is all on the secondary market. And looking at this, so the momentum indicator shows number of retail investors have been kind of flat over the last little bit, so they're kind of just sitting tight. Of course, there's that shareholder meeting that's coming out. I believe that is on August the 6th, if I remember correctly. And stochastic right now is at 58, a little bit more of a bearish sentiment right now, but it is kind of in neutral territory. When it comes to it, there's going to be a lot of swings, a lot of volatility, like I've been saying over the last couple of videos. With it being at 27.15 cents, it is currently between this S1 and the pivot. So 29.5 cents is that next big resistance, and roughly around 26 cents is that next big support. The spread on all of these is massive, so meaning there's going to be a lot of volatility, like I mentioned. But once again, I've brought this up in the past. Morningstar just updated this, I believe it was last Friday, and they do have the fair market value for Faraday being 40 cents. So of course, you guys can take that how you see fit. Obviously do your guys' own due diligence, but like I said, I do feel that it is moving in the right direction, and this is why I did decide to buy, especially as well with this news. This is kind of bigger picture news. This most likely won't really take effect overnight. So once again, this is why Faraday Future, as I've said in the past, when you are investing in Faraday, you need to think bigger picture. You can't just think short term, because short term on a stock such as this will absolutely drive you crazy, especially like I mentioned with the amount of volatility is just all over the place. So once again, that's just my own interpretation based on all of that. But when it comes down to this is something that will definitely very much impress a lot of companies, because there is a very strong correlation with once a company starts to actually move operationally, meaning production, institutions very much just wait on that, even though they might be paying a premium. So for instance, once phase 2 kicks off, even though it's at 27 cents right now, considered a discount, companies would rather buy it at 40 cents, maybe even 50 cents, significantly higher, if there is confirmation of revenue coming in. So that's just kind of the mentality on institutions and how they work. So like I said, I do feel that there is going to be a little bit more of a FOMO aspect still leading up to August or closer to that. So obviously there's a couple days left. So Faraday will hopefully be able to update investors at that stage on where things might be going. But once again, let me know you guys' thoughts on that. Give yourself a shout out if you have been buying over the last little bit. Did you take advantage of this dip that happened, which like I mentioned was kind of an overreaction, but still, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And take advantage of this promo like I've been sharing with you. It is an amazing promo because if you throw $100 at this account, which is free to have, you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, and also you get a $50 cash reward. So this legitimately is the best deal that you can get, only available up until August 31st. Link in the description below and also the comments. With that said, appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Faraday Future.